Are we going?
Yeah, we're rolling, bro.
Oh,
damn.
Am I supposed to be hearing something?
No.
I don't know if I'm too close to the mic or not.
No, I think you're good.
How do you know?
You see those waves over there?
The green things?
Yeah.
No. Well, yeah, the green, but like you see
Where
the
the waves
computer.
Yeah.
The red ones, the white things going up and down. You see my voice? It's at the very top.
Yeah.
And then when you're like the third one, Garrett.
Okay.
So like.
Oh, okay. I see it. I'm not too high yet. Well, hold on.
Where am I at? Oh,
I can see it.
I found it.
I think you're bottom.
Yep, I am bottom. So, like, once you get to that white line, you're, like, way too close.
You need to quit yelling.
No, but that's good.
Oh, it's good. I guess once you see the green, yellow, and red over there.
Yeah.
When you get to the red, that's when you just.
That's when
when
you're like,
scream it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to be like staring at that the whole entire time.
we need to get a carpet. Kind of lower the voices down so it doesn't echo.
Y'all ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do this. Hey everybody, welcome back to a Wall Friends podcast where we hang out and talk to your friends and ask them what inspires them and what scares them and more. With you, your hosts, William
and George.
And on today's episode, we have a person that's been on this before, but we also got a new guy on here with us. I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
What's good? My name's Garett Wynn. Like Willie said, I've been on here before, but I'm happy to be back for the second time, so I'm excited.
My name's Kannon. I'm brand new.
I was born yesterday.
Yeah, I'm 19. I'm glad to be on here. I mean, honestly. I don't know what else to say.
This boys have been on a process for the past 2 years on just working on themselves better physically and mentally, and they brought him here just so they can share their story, what it takes, the grit, the hard work, the determination on those days that you just want to stay in bed or not go to the gym or push yourselves, right. And they're just here to kind of show us, tell us what it takes to get there. Yeah. And I don't know if they also have other things they're planning on telling us. But yeah, that's why we have them here. Thank you for being here, boys.
Oh, yeah, man. I appreciate y'all.
And I guess before we get started, like I said, Garrett's been on this before, but if you want to do like a little recap of your background story, like how you got into the fitness or where you are today, and just you follow back with your story.
Okay, so I'd say it basically started 2 years ago. I was tired of being a big kid. I guess I'm still a big kid, but I looked in the mirror one day and I decided I wanted to change, and that was 2 years ago. And ever since then, I've been working out towards a greater goal that I'll announce in a minute. But yeah.
Same way.
You were fat?
No, no, it's just opposite. So I started out 2 years ago.
I'm sorry, was that offensive?
He said you were fat?
No, I started out like super skinny. I was really tall, so it was kind of hard to gain muscle and stuff. And
poor kid.
I was just tired of being skinny, and me and Garrett had worked with each other for about 2 years prior to that, and he started working out about 3 months before I asked him, hey, can I come work out with you? And the rest is history.
So, yeah, how do you guys know each other? You said you were working, how did y'all's path cross?
Yeah, so Kannon was actually, we work at a gymnastics and cheer place in Tumble in Benton, and Kannon worked there. Actually, he was like a cheerleader there before I was actually working there. Yeah. He ended up doing like all the parkour and flips and tricks, and I ended up coming over with my brother and my sister-in-law and a bunch of other people. A bunch of my family works there. And so me and him just kind of met up. I don't think we liked each other at first, I think.
Really? Wow.
I think it was just the ego thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like big.
He's like, who's this brown kid coming in, But
I wouldn't go to it like that.
Just saying that because we're on camera. But no, we
ban Kannon.
Yeah, you cancel him right now. But no,
cancel Bradley Martin.
But yeah, we met like that, and like I said, it was probably a year or a year and a half before we like started like really hanging out. And we started hanging out just regular as boys, you know, doing boy stuff, I guess. And then we that's the dumbest thing I've ever said. Hey, cut that out. Hey, edit that out.
That's how it's gonna sound.
What do you say, boys? And I was like, hey, yo.
All right.
I was caught off guard, and then that's how Willie, he was like, wait, hold up.
Hey. To clear it up, just for clarification. Things that guys do, like video games, I guess. Basketball, okay? Not that, okay? All right, George. So, yeah, it was a year and a half of doing guy stuff that we would...
We would just play video games
we would play video games together and pretend that we're Twitch streamers.
Sorry. All right, so anyways.
Okay, so like after a year and a half, I started working out. That was around the time that I just got done with my freshman year of college. I gained 30, 40 pounds. I was really depressed. So I started working out. I was by myself, and then I had a buddy named Trace. I know Willie, and both of you know Trace. He's from Harmony Grove, but we started working out together, and I was like, I kind of like this. I thought I was only going to do it for about a week or two, and then it ended up being something that obviously has been really good for me. And then, like I said, Kannon saw me working out. I would post on my Snapchat every now and then, not as much as I do now, but Kannon saw my story, and he asked if he wanted to come work out, and then I was like, yeah, dude, come on. And so he used my guest pass, and the next thing you know, he got his own, and then
and then it just
we
unfolded
just keep
after
going.
that.
We just kept going, and then we never stopped.
What made you start working out? Like, did you hit like a rock bottom, like depression or anything like that?
I think the main reason why I started, because in high school I got bullied too much, and I was just, because I played baseball, I was tall, frail, like I couldn't do most things, but I could shove it. And after baseball happened, I went to cheer and started doing parkour and all that, and they decided they wanted me on a cheer team. And so I got on there, and I realized that I couldn't even lift a single girl up, and that's what they wanted me to do. And so like I was like, damn, I'm gonna have to like put on some like serious muscle to like lift these girls up at all, because I would see him and he'd be lifting up his sister and stuff and lifting up other girls. Like,
Well, his sister's like 4 years old though.
Yeah, what is she?
She's 9 now.
Yeah.
But back then she was like 6. But
yeah, dude, she was.
You can
small.
lift up her.
She was the only one that I could lift up.
But they were bigger girls that I would, not bigger, but you know what I mean. Like they were. I'm not trying to get canceled either, dude. There were girls that were older.
It says turned.
There were girls that were.
We love every body shape and form over here.
Hey, body positivity. Come on,
This is not.
We love it. But no, there were bigger girls that were older than Rylan that were just, 16, 15, whatever like that.
Yeah.
And I would be able to lift them, and like Kannon said, he couldn't. So
Yeah.
And it was just, that's when I asked him, I was like, bro, I'm going to have to like come and start working out with you. And then it's just, I've just loved it ever since.
I think it's sometimes as like boys, that we just, hanging around or whatever, or men that enter in another man's territory, like you kind of came into his world, and like everyone has like egos of like, well, I'm not going to talk to this guy because he's kind of trying to take my spot or stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, it was. I was very imitated by him whenever I started working there, just because he was bigger and he had more of a male presence than I did. When I looked like a basketball court or a basketball goal, just walking in here just doing flips, like I was just there.
Yeah.
And so like since he knew everybody, like I was very intimidated by him. But then we kind of grown close, and he's more of a teddy bear than a grizzly. So
that's true. I can't be a grizzly though. Come on.
No,
Now.
but I guess what I was
I'm
trying to say, it's like, what made you guys decide to start working together rather than just doing
it
your
by
own?
yourself.
Yeah, by
Honestly,
yourself.
we had this thing called Empire Day, and it's annual, and that was like the first time that we actually like talked to each other. So like really, it was two young and dumb kids thinking that they're better than the other. Being like, I don't want to talk to you, type deal. Why though?
Yeah.
I mean, I've grown and matured a lot since then, and so But during that time, I was like, I don't really care to talk to this kid, you know. I think back then he had bleach blonde hair, and I was like, dude, don't talk to me. But anyways.
We ain't gonna talk about
Yeah.
those.
But no, we had another buddy that used to work with us. His name's Seth. Shout out to you, buddy. I haven't seen you in a while, but I hope you're doing good. He doesn't work at Empire anymore, but that's kind of how we all became friends. He was friends with Seth. I kind of became friends with Seth, and then we went out to eat after Empire Day, and we started talking and just chatted up. And then after that, so we just kept going, and now it's grown into something that like a brotherhood, really. So,
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, because I feel like sometimes we have. I mean, even I myself had those days where I think I'm better than other people, but rather than that, I think it's better you see them as your friends rather than your enemy or whatever you may call them, because I feel like if you work better together, you know, and you
Yeah, absolutely.
you push each other to the limit. So anyone who's out there who may be listening to this podcast, who maybe you have a coworker, you know, like you're trying to compete or whatever, but at the end of the day, if you just like help each other out, you know, to help, I guess, the company or help you even grow, you know, we can always learn something new from anyone who we surround ourselves with, because we definitely don't know everything that there is to the game that
Absolutely.
we're playing.
Like, I mean, just go up and talk to them. I mean, like, put your ego aside and just like try to have a nice conversation. You don't know where it's gonna go.
Yeah, and being receptive, you know, like when someone comes and like approaches you, be like, oh, be humble about it, because a lot of times, like, oh yeah, you're coming to me because I'm the best, you know, like, yeah, cause that sometimes we gotta put that aside, and like you actually may learn something more from this other person than you actually may thought you would ever.
Right. Yeah.
and
Like
what's weird is like I feel like back when I was not nearly as muscular and skinnier, I felt like I was more cocky back then. It makes no sense, but
Yeah.
I think that's just was me growing up. I felt like I was a football jockey or something, I guess, and I just thought I was hot stuff. But now, like, I feel like I look tons.
nice.
I feel like I look way better now than I did back then. I mean, Willie knows what I look like. And, But now I'm more humble than ever, and I think it's just because, like, my faith in the Lord, and just kind of like, I think I'm just appreciative of what I got, and I'm proud of my hard work, and so I'm not going to flaunt it. I want to help other people do what I've been able to achieve, and so, yeah.
Yeah, because also growing up, it makes you realize how much you have worked to be, I guess, the person you are today, or not just like in the gym, or like admire stuff that you have like with you, like material stuff, you know, like how hard you work for something. That's the way you guys work hard for your body, how you guys want to look, you know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I guess another thing is, what would y'all say to like a brand new kid that just walks up in the gym, has never been in the gym, first time in the gym? He probably feels like intimidated, judged, whatever.
It feels like an outcast, you know. You go there and like you see all this people with this ripped,
Yeah.
Jacked.
Rip.
or jacked
Yeah.
physiques and stuff.
Yeah.
And you're like, dang.
What's
I
like
want to look like that guy.
what's like a good piece of advice you would say to someone that's like brand new to the gym?
Like, honestly, dude, I feel like people hate on Planet Fitness all the time. You know, it's just like there's a stigma around it. But like, Planet Fitness is where where me and Kannon grew. Like, for a bulk of what we've done so far.
Probably
like,
about a year and a half, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit over a year and a half. And so, I guess my best piece of advice is like, just start, dude. Like, are you gonna do day one today, or are you gonna do one day? You know, it's a mindset. It's more. I think it's more of a mindset than it is. It's mental more than it is physical. Mentally, I got to tell myself I'm going every day. But now, you know, nowadays that I've been working out for almost 3 years, I have to work out or I feel weird. You know, unless I take one rest day, which is obviously today. But yeah, just go in there. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I mean, yeah, there are some like guys that are kind of douchebags in the gym, but there's also people like me and Kannon or Willie and George that are willing to help you in the gym. Like, if you ask for a question, don't be afraid to ask the biggest guy in the room, because he might know what he's doing.
Yeah.
What would be your piece of advice?
Just stay dedicated. Honestly, I mean, like what he was saying, like mentally, it is hard on you, but you have to push through what you want. So, I mean, honestly, just stay motivated, stay dedicated, and if you stick with it, it'll put you in a place that you'd want to be.
I also think that if you have a workout partner, it helps a lot. Like, especially if you're brand new, if you're nervous, but you have a buddy with you, maybe you feel a little bit more comfortable than just being in there by yourself.
That helps a lot.
I mean, I remember days when I go, the first time I'd ever start, I was that big kid. I didn't have any muscle, and I'd just walk in, I'd be like, oh, crap, like, what am I doing? I was scared in Planet Fitness. Now, I feel confident knowing what I'm doing, but when you first start out, get you a partner, and if you don't have a partner, that's fine. But if you can have access to a partner, get one, because they can be your accountability partner, and they're just there to help you not be so nervous, just as nervous as they are. So,
yeah, and I think like at least Garett, William, and myself, we kind of had like a little background of playing football in high school, so like we had like an idea of what it to do. But like you can, and your background's a little different. If in like the stereotypical way that we're talking about Garett and how he was made fun of because he was a bigger kid, if he was tired of being a bigger kid, I don't think a lot of people really do talk on the other side of the coin of like being tall and skinny and not having enough muscle, because everyone we all think they pick on like the bigger guys. Yeah. But how did that affect you?
Well, it was the same way. I got picked on a lot, and it was to the point where my eating habits weren't really stable, and there was I wouldn't eat some days, and some days I would. There was more. I don't know. I could say
it just affected your self-esteem.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was very insecure. Like everywhere I went, it was either I had joggers on. It didn't matter what it was. I had a long sleeve on. I would never show my full body. And if so, it would be shorts and a long sleeve, or a short sleeve and pants. I'd never wear shorts and a t-shirt at the same time.
And you did that on purpose?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I would anywhere I went in school, if I was playing baseball or basketball or something, I would always be made fun of. So this is it's driven my confidence a lot whenever I started working out. It's helped me a lot mentally, because I'm coming from a pretty low spot whenever I started, and now I'm it feels like I'm peaking, but I hope not. But
you're what?
It feels like I'm peaking.
Oh, peaking.
But yeah. I don't think I am.
But when you say it's coming from a low spot, would you mind explaining and going into further detail, what that low spot was for you?
Oh yeah. So through all that, I started going into suicidal thoughts. I didn't really have a good home life with my dad during the time, so all of it kind of just drove in at the same mental point, and it tore me apart. I quit baseball, and that's where I found cheer and stuff. I was well, I'm gonna have to start boosting up a little bit. So I found cheer, and it was up till then. But that low spot, really, that was kind of a reach out to God of okay, I need some help.
How old were you?
I was probably 15 whenever it was
that
down.
Very low, downhill, low spot.
Yeah.
Whenever you say you found cheer, a lot of people, we tend to idolize the typical American sports, whether it's football, basketball, baseball. But then, cheer, it just seems like a very feminine
sport. Yeah.
Or some people don't even like to call it a sport just because, there's the debate about it. But that's not what where I want to focus on. But what made you decide just to go into, cheer and, kind of just being that guy who does cheer? Because I think everywhere that, at least in the high school I went to, if
he was gay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It
was. Let's just go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
He was gay.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Now there's guys who are on the cheer team that they have
they're
families.
Straight as a 2x4.
Yeah.
There's
but we know one or two that.
Sometimes it's easy to tell. I no hate. I'm just saying. You just know.
Yeah, I got stereotyped by that whenever I started doing cheer, but I kind of just outgrew it because I mean, like, I knew going into it that's what everybody was gonna see me as. So I mean, I kind of just went through it and dug through it, like
Just
I
like
don't know.
sweep it under the
Yeah,
rug, basically.
like sweep it on the rug. It was
like
it
those
wasn't nothing.
just a superficial critic comment that they didn't really know who you were and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't really affect me as much.
Okay, I got
You
you.
didn't do boy stuff, right?
No.
Okay.
Unless it was with you.
That was after, yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, wow. Boy stuff cheer. Okay. Oh boy.
Man, this is a doozy.
But I know a lot has changed in a year, and I know you started your fitness clothing brand. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so obviously, I always go by GAGO. Those are the words I live by. It means get your grind on. I just kind of started that just randomly out of the blue. I was like, let's go. I'm going to go get my grind on. I was like, that's kind of catchy. Maybe it's not to you, but it is to me. But yeah, I started using it on Snapchat, and then I actually ended up getting a job at my same job with it's called Tag and Trend. It's like our clothing company. So I ended up starting doing that, and then I learned how to make shirts. I was like, oh, this is kind of fun, you know? And then I started doing a little bit of the shirt designs. I was like, oh, those are dope too. Like, I feel like I'm pretty good at this. And like, my clothes were selling to the parents. And so I was like, you know what? Why? Like, if all these other brands can do it, like there's plenty of brands, you know, you got to start from the ground up. Mm-hmm. There's plenty of brands out there that are still small, but then all of a sudden just blew up. And, you know, I feel like if you have a vision and a message behind what you're trying to sell, I feel like you can sell anything, really. So we just had, I think we did this about 6 months ago. We sold over like 21 orders, which was cool. It was just,
Yeah, absolutely.
we had a simple GAGO fitness shirt. It was gray and black, and then we had some shorts, some mesh shorts. And so it was really cool to see like people actually messing with our stuff, you know, like buying our stuff.
Yeah.
Like I would never expect somebody to buy something that I created.
Right.
I would always think, okay, I'm gonna go buy Nike, you know. It's like, but now I can make my own clothes really if I wanted to.
Yeah.
You know, obviously I support other brands and stuff, but I want to make GAGO into something that's like Gymshark or Alphalete or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be awesome.
Raw.
And yeah, Raw. That's my dream one day.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully it happens. By the way, shameless plug, we're about to make some more shirts. So if you want to cop some, hit me in the DMs. But yeah, it hasn't been that long, and I haven't even got a website up yet. But I'm hoping to get that up soon, and then I already got my Instagram up. I haven't really posted. I only posted the shirt and the shorts for our first drop, and then we'll probably do pre-orders on some hats and some shirts in the near future. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And kind of like talking a little bit behind, or just kind of taking a little bit back. I know you guys are sponsored by like, who are you guys sponsored by, like Raw or?
Yeah, Raw Nutrition.
We're ambassadors for Raw.
How was that?
Yeah.
Like, did they reach out to you guys, or did they slide on the DMs? And how did that felt, or did you guys reach out to them?
So we actually went to this event in Alphaland, or in Houston, Texas, at Alphaland. It's a huge gym out there owned by Christian Guzman. I don't know if you know who he is, but
I've heard of Alpha.
he owns Alphalete.
Yeah, no, he's
We were at that event in Houston at Alphaland. It was a C-Bum times Raw Meetup event, and so there was literally so many freaking people there, dude.
everybody was there.
We got down there. We woke up at like 2 a.m. Friday morning, drove 6, 7, 8 hours.
Wow, that's dedication.
No, yeah, dude. Like,
Oh, yeah.
we were super hyped because all the fitness influencers we would be watching on YouTube were there.
Yeah.
And so we're like, dude, we got to go. This is like a great opportunity to meet
we
those
have
guys.
to.
Like we have to. So, and we really weren't busy that weekend, so might as well go. And so we met the whole Raw team. We got to meet the guy who is literally the owner. His name's Dom. He's a super cool guy. We got to meet Chris Bumstead, his brother-in-law Ian, which are they're literally both. I mean, Chris Bumstead's a 3-time Olympia, and hopefully he gets his 4th this time, this year. But his brother Ian, he's in the Olympia. I don't think he's won yet, but I think he's got 5th and 3rd, so like he's pretty close, and he's huge. And then we got to meet Chris Bumstead's trainer. His name's Matt. or coach, bodybuilding coach, and then we met Dan Vela, which is like I said, the manager guy. He's a super cool guy. We saw there was a link on Instagram like during that event that said, hey, if you want to sign up to be an ambassador and get your own code, like fill out this form. So we both filled out the form
that night.
We did it that day. And I think we got an email within like
2 or 3 days later.
Yeah, 2 or 3 days. Which, like I said, I think anybody can do it. It's kind of like a tier system. So however many people use your code, you get profit from that. So like we've made profit just from selling like $5 worth, you know what I mean? But really you can't buy anything on Raw for $5. So
right,
their supplements and stuff are at least $30, but really it's not that bad. Like, and their shirts are super cool. So, and you get those for like $30. So we try and promote our code as much as possible.
Do you get free merch and stuff?
Yeah. So when you hit like a certain tier, I think right now we're still at bronze because we're not big yet. But I'm hoping that we'll hit silver. Once you hit silver, you get like this cool shirt. It says Team Thabbage on it. It's super cool. It's like Chris Bumstead's team to an extent. So yeah, it's super cool. And use code WIN10 at Get Raw Nutrition for at checkout.
How do you spell WIN?
10% off. Shameless plug.
Yeah, how do you spell WIN?
NGUYEN 10. That is NGUYEN 10.
I feel like on every video that we do, we have to spell it out because no one knows how to spell
I bet people
WIN.
have tried to use my code with WIN. It just hadn't worked. Like they just
WIN
like,
10,
It's
baby.
not working.
yeah. So they just say screw it and then use a different code. But it is what it
They
is.
use Cannons. Cannons, what's your code?
Yeah, it's easy.
Allison
It's easy.
10. ALLISON.
That's what I get for being Asian. But yeah, it's super cool.
Thanks, Dad.
Thanks. But like I said, I think anybody can do it. It's just you got to work your way up. And so I think that's cool. Like you can earn it. You know what I mean? And I want to earn everything that I get. So if that means I have to sell a certain amount in a month, then I'm going to try and do it, even if it's with my own money. You know what I mean? I've had a few people use my code. It's not like a lot. I think there's like 2 or 3, which is super cool. I mean,
Yeah.
It's still pretty dope.
yeah, like the same thing with like my shirts being made. I wouldn't imagine people putting an Asian last name into a Get Raw Nutrition
Discount
like
code.
checkout. It's weird.
Yeah,
It's weird to
yeah.
have. It's cool to have my own code though. It's like
Right.
humbling for me. So yeah, it was super cool on how we ended up with that. And so we we took those photo shoots and stuff, and we talked to Dan literally on the daily. He always comments on our stuff, and he's a super guy, and that whole team's super cool. So.
Yeah, that whole experience was amazing. Like we met a bunch of influencers. Anthony Mantello, Jeremy was there.
Was Bradley Martin there?
Bradley wasn't there at this one, sadly. That was kind of sad.
No, sadly.
But there's this guy named Vaughn Walker. He's part of the Raw Nutrition team.
Vaughn,
Grant,
Sush,
LT.
Yeah, I mean,
So
like
many.
everybody was
And
there.
we're actually going back to Alpha Land next week, so that'll be cool.
Where's
We're
that
leaving-
going to be? Back in Houston or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same place.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're
There's also
hoping
this one cute girl. What's her name? It's like Sarah.
Sarah Safari. I think that's
so.
what
Oh,
her name is.
dude.
He knows who we're talking
She's
about.
bad.
Bro.
I can't say that.
I got another Sarah. That's her name, right?
Sarah's watching this.
Yeah.
He said that's her name, right? What'd you say her name was? Hannah or something?
Sarah, your girlfriend, right?
Yeah, no. But what'd you say her name was the other day? We were like, is her name like Hannah? What'd you say?
No, I never.
I thought he said
Savannah?
Macy or something. Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, you said something, dude. I remember.
I didn't forget you.
George, don't cap right now.
Yeah, it's hard being the fifth wheel.
Fifth wheel, whatever. But yeah, we're gonna go back next week, and we actually have a few people that we're gonna collab with and like make YouTube videos with. So hopefully,
That's dope.
yeah. So there's this guy named Bash. We got to meet him at Alpha Land, and this was before. So this brand that I'm wearing right now is called Get Better Today. I don't know if you know who Russ Swole is.
Bro,
Big
we're
dude.
very knowledgeable about that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's
the
okay.
fitness brand. Or
Russ Wall, he has his
I
own
do like their
gym.
clothes and stuff. It's pretty nice.
Thanks.
I like the ankle one. Like they have the teddy bear or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Anaka, yeah.
that's Anaka.
Oh, or not good.
So Get Better.
Inca. Indians.
Anyways,
Inaka.
he
Whoops.
Russ Swole owns Get Better Today. He made it, I don't know, I think it was 2015, something like that. It hadn't been out that long. I don't even think it's been 2015. I think it was a little bit sooner than that. But he used to work out at Alpha Land before Alpha Land was Alpha Land. And so they had a way smaller building before. It was called Alpha Elite Gym, but now it's called Alpha Land because it's huge. They have a cafe in there. They got 3 stores. Like, there's so many. It's cool stuff, dude. It's crazy. It's like the
so like if you're in Houston, that's the most like you got to do that if you're in.
If you're a gym rat.
If you're a gym rat, like you have to go there.
Like, absolutely. And so,
gotta go there. And
Yeah.
Houston, bro.
with all that, y'all need to come. With all that being said, we were at the cafe, and I saw this guy directly across from me, and his name was Bash. I was like, hey, what's your name? He's like, my name's Bash. And I was like, what camera are you using? I just wanted to know what camera he had. And he told me what it was. And then come to find out, he had like 30K or something on TikTok already. He's like, yeah, y'all follow me. And so we followed him. He followed us back. I was like, oh, that's dope. Like, he's pretty popular on TikTok. That's cool. And he likes to work out. And he's from, like, I think he was from New York. I could be wrong. But we ended up kind of talking a little bit. But when he left, and then he ended up getting sponsored by Get Better Today. So now he's part of that brand, which is super cool. I knew him before he was even doing
big.
that.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping one day that I could do that, regardless if that's Get Better Today or not. But we're going to collab with him, so
or
that'll
you
be super
can
cool.
sponsor other people with Get Your Own Grind On.
That's true. So that's something that I would like to do. I'd like to have sponsored athletes one of these days. Obviously, we're not there yet, but hopefully one of these days we
like
can do
you
that.
say, you start somewhere. Start from
Yeah,
the
you
bottom
gotta
and
start.
You gotta start somewhere.
It's better than to start than just saying, oh, I'm going to do it, but never do it. And y'all started it. You did it. I mean,
Just
like
gotta
you
keep
said,
going.
21 people order your stuff. You just got to keep on going. That should be like a motivation to you guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we made over $300 on that. Like, it was crazy. Like, we never expected that to even blow up. I was like, okay, I bet Cannon's mom and my mom are going to buy a shirt, and that'll probably be it. You know what I mean? And we said that before, and then people started DMing me like, hey, I want one. I was like, wow, like, really? And so that was super cool to see. And so hopefully on this next drop, I think the shirt's pretty fire. I mean, yeah, I made it, so I might be a little biased, but I think it'll be clean. Did I show y'all yet? I'll have to show you after this.
I think you showed Willie a couple designs, and then it's definitely it looks good.
Thanks. Are you just saying that because we're on camera, or?
Yeah, for sure. No, I think if I'm thinking about like the eagle one.
Yeah, with the lightning.
I really like that one.
Okay, you gonna buy one then when we pre-order?
If I can, I'm gonna try.
If you can.
Yeah, if I can. If $35
$35 USD. You got it?
$25 USD.
35.
35.
use code WIN10 for like 5 cents off.
Okay.
Me and Kannon are actually about to try and compete in bodybuilding. So nobody knows that yet, but here you go.
That's exciting. Well, how does that feel? Or what made you take that decision to leap of just trying to compete against other people?
Well, I think I've always just had a competitive fire inside of me. I mean, that happened all the way from when I played t-ball baseball back in the day, and then it transcended into football with at Harmony Grove. And then after I didn't have football, I was like, what can I be competitive in, you know? Yeah, I could be like a dad and do like soft pitch softball, or slow pitch softball, but you know, I'd rather I feel like working out is something that I could be competitive in. And like people have told me, dude, if you cut down, you could be a monster, you know what I mean? And when people say stuff like that to me, it just makes me more motivated to keep going. And so that's what's kind of driven me to be like, okay, I want to bodybuild. I used to want to power lift because I was pretty strong, and I'm still pretty strong. But I think now I'd rather go for aesthetics. I'd rather look lean. And so we've ever since we started this, we would, you know, obviously when you start something new, you look it up on YouTube, working out. And so that's how we found all those fitness influencers. And so it kind of spiraled into, a lot of these fitness influencers are bodybuilders. And so we would watch the shows that they would do, and we would watch their prep and their cut and how they did it. And so I kind of just want to do it for myself, just to prove to all the haters out there that literally don't believe I can do it, that I can. And so that's kind of how it started. And we actually didn't decide this until 3 to 4 months ago.
Yeah,
we were gonna
probably
compete. And there's actually, I'll let Kannon talk about when he's competing, and then I'll talk about when I am.
So whenever you're competing, what does that entail? Do you have to have like a six pack? Do you have to look like chiseled? Like how much body fat do you need to have? What way do you like? What way category I guess goes into that?
Yeah, there's certain categories.
How tall you are affects or
not really. So it goes more of kind of like weight class.
You got
So,
like classic, you got men's physique, you got open, you got all kinds of different ones. Like
Open, what does
like
that mean?
Like the
Open?
difference between like physique and like men's physique and then classic is like classic wears. I'm pretty sure they wear like a speedo type deal. You know, like the small thong looking things. But
I mean, when you say compete, that's what comes to mind. Like people who are just like zero body fat.
Oh
and,
yeah,
like,
definitely.
yeah.
So I'm not going to compete until next year. So I think that's going to give me time to try and look the best that I can. And it may be too soon. I may not be ready in a year, but I'm setting a goal for myself now, so that way I'm not just holding it back. You know, if I say, well, I'll compete once I get lean. Well, I gotta. If I set a deadline, I'm gonna work harder towards that deadline. So hopefully next June in Alphaland or in Houston.
Heck yeah.
That's where it's going to be at.
Yeah, so
Alpha?
it's an event called Summer Shredding. A lot of people have done it that are in Alphaland right now, and Christian Guzman, that's his little event that he puts on. They actually have a transformation one where you put like your old picture on the screen and then you come out and see what you look like now. So that could be something that I might do, or I might just do like just a random division, just depending on. I have to look it up and just see exactly what type of division is going to fit me. I don't know if I want to wear a Speedo or some board shorts, you know. So it varies between different classes.
Okay. What about?
So I'll be competing in October.
This October?
Yeah, this October in summer shredding too. So they have one in June and then they have one in October. So like if you're bulking and shredding during the summer, you can do the one in October. And then if you're bulking and shredding during October through March, you can do it in June. I thought about doing it the one in June, but I just knew I wasn't ready.
He was ready.
Yeah,
So.
I knew I wasn't ready, and so I decided
What made
to
you
take.
think you weren't ready?
Well, with
His legs.
Yeah, that's it. My legs are scrawny. I mean, yeah, they're cut and stuff, but I just want to put a little bit more mass on them.
Okay, gotcha.
So I don't look like an upside down Dorito
Like
or Christmas tree.
Dude's super lean, and so like he's been gifted with the fact that he's just come out the womb lean, but he definitely had to build that muscle that's on him now.
Right.
And so
Flex. I saw that. I saw that.
No, I did the
Right after you said that, he's like, yeah.
he's just showing you all his hard work. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'm kind of his coach because, well, for one, we can't really afford a coach right now. So we're literally going into this blind. We'll be in the novice division, which is when you've never done it before.
Okay,
and
yeah,
so
for
it'll
sure.
just be a good experience.
It's a good learning experience.
Oh
Exactly.
yeah, it'll be both of our first shows. Like him being on the other side of it and me being on it.
Yeah.
Like it'll be like, it's great exposure for us, but as a learning point, like I'm going into this as, okay, so what, like if I don't win, I want to know what I need to work on.
Right, yeah.
To
That way-
exceed for more.
Exactly.
Well, because obviously, I think you guys know this, but we don't train to come in second place, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
First place
exactly.
loser. I'm not
Absolutely.
about that.
And then, so the fact you're having an open mind about it, you know, like I'm training as hard as I can just to be the best.
Oh,
but
yeah.
if I happen not to be the best that day, I can always come back and learn.
Come back and be better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. Yes, do I want Kannon to win his first show? Absolutely. But if he doesn't, like, it's not going to be the end of the world. That's just something for him. That's a positive thing for him to work on. At least he got out there and he did it. He got out of his comfort zone.
At least you tried it. You know?
So-
Yeah, exactly.
What's the difference between you guys wanting to do this and like doing like, you know, I'm a little bit more familiar with like the CrossFit, like Matt Frazier. I don't know if you know who guys that is. He's like,
Yeah, I'm not big into CrossFit, but I feel like, you know, CrossFit's got its own little wave. I mean,
yeah.
they do their own little competitions, which is cool. You know, it's just basically the same thing as bodybuilding, just in their different rights. It's like baseball and football. You know what I mean? So.
No, so what's like difference or like why?
CrossFit has to do with like more
A lot of body movements. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Not just
that and like well trained cardio. And
I try to do cardio.
yeah. And so like doing different movements with your body. So like seeing like how flexible you are in this and then going straight into a different body position and seeing how well you can adapt from this to that in like a quick few seconds.
it's a lot of it's fast paced. You know, CrossFit's definitely fast paced. And I feel like obviously bodybuilding it's more of like art to an extent. Like you're trying to sculpt your body into something. And so
Yeah, I feel like CrossFit and powerlifting are more
They're similar.
well known together. than bodybuilding, because bodybuilding is more like slow and controlled, like technique.
Powerlifting is just heavy weight, like
See what you
6
can get up.
reps.
Yeah, you don't have to eat healthy or
you just
you can look
really,
big.
You can look bulked and
Yeah.
just hit 700 pounds on squat. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just it's whatever that niche that you're trying to get into. You know, I mean, bodybuilding is not for everybody, and I don't even know if it's still for us, but we're gonna try it out and see what happens.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What's something you guys would say to your younger self, not younger self, but like your first time going, your newer self going to the gym, but with all the knowledge that you guys know now? What's something you would say to that person in the past?
I think I would
Good
tell
job.
myself, get a job.
I
think I would.
good job.
Oh, okay.
Like what?
I thought you said get a job. I was like, I mean, yeah, I guess that's good, but not for the gym. But I think what I would tell them is that just keep going. Like, don't limit yourself. Don't think that just because you're big now doesn't mean you can't get stronger. Doesn't mean you can't get skinnier. And regardless of what anybody says when you're on this journey, don't quit. Like, believe in yourself, and if you want to do it and it makes you happy doing it, then that's all that matters.
Yeah, trust the process.
Yeah, and one thing I heard about, kind of like lifting weights and all this stuff is that it doesn't only help you with like your physical but your mental, but like it also like it helps you to become a better person all around. Like if you're putting in the work, like at the gym, you want to put in a better work, with your personal relationships.
Absolutely.
Or it's just like, it's kind of like Willie calls it like a therapy session where you can just go in there and just kind of like relax or just get your anger out
Put
or
your headphones on.
or whatever it may be.
It's
that
all
like
about you right now, really.
Dude,
Yeah,
That's what I think. when
Yeah.
I go
just
to the gym.
That's how-
you're just it helps you like in every single aspect of life, not just the physique or mental part of it.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of times where we would go in and literally just be like, we're so pissed off at work or something like that, or mad at our parents or mad at our loved
Just
ones, whatever it is.
life
But
situations.
But when we're in that gym, you feel good. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you take all that anger and all that, all that sadness or whatever you have in your body, it feels so much better after that workout, dude. You just feel like a new person, and so I think that's
you
why.
come out feeling like a new man.
No,
whenever-
yeah.
From
especially
those 30 minutes to like a 2 hours to whatever time you work out or how long
it's
you work out.
heaven,
It's
dude.
Oh, yeah.
totally
Right.
different.
Yeah,
You just go in and just work.
I feel like you come out like a new person.
yeah, absolutely. It's
And you're just satisfied of it. You're just getting there, like, of pushing yourself to getting to that discomfort. Because I think most of the times, or a lot of times, kind of don't know if like you guys, but like for me, I'm like, I get to the gym, like, I don't want to be there.
Yes,
But
I
then-
was just about to say
Yeah,
that.
that's crazy.
I don't want to be there. But then when I get there and I actually start putting in the work, putting in the reps,
You're
then,
glad that
and,
you
and
went.
then I feel I feel the pain, but it's like a good pain because
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
growing.
Yeah.
That's like a growing pain, It's like and then afterwards you're like, yes, I'm glad I came.
that happened to
Well,
us the
that-
other night. dude.
yesterday.
Yeah, it was
yesterday
literally yesterday.
we did not want to come at all. Like we didn't even want to go to the gym. We said, let's take a rest day. And then later yesterday afternoon, he was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and go to the gym. And I was like, all right, I'm coming. And so
I've been on this. I know I've been on this diet or whatever, like I said. But I had this little little thing with my cheer team yesterday, and so all they had was pizza to eat, and I was starving, and it was literally 7 o'clock. I haven't eaten since, I don't know, 11 or so.
Right, yeah.
So I ended up eating like 2 pieces, and I felt like crap after. But I was like, okay, I'm going to the gym. Like I got to work this off, and so. Really, it's just things like that. Like, that's mental stuff. I could have easily ate that pizza and then went home. That's what 2 years ago old me would have done, is just go home.
Right.
Because I didn't care. But like I said, it's the mental state. And, like, I was almost, like, sick of myself. I was like, I can't believe I did that.
Yeah.
But as long as I went in and I worked and I sweat and I went as hard as I could, like, that's what matters. And so I felt like I achieved something that day. I was like, yes, you did. You cheated a little bit, but you're back on it, and you went and worked out, and you didn't just go home and lay down.
And but that's the amazing part. Thank you for sharing that, because that's when we see the actual change in our lives. It's when we do it over a long period of time, and then we can know what our new self has done and what our old self would have done. Like you said, like that's when you have put in so much work in the gym that like your new self, like if like those inside voices like, no, I have to go into the gym. So that's when you know you have changed, because you've been doing it for so long. And sometimes we just get stuck in this routine of not trying to be better ourselves, that like we want to see the change like immediately. You know, most of us, we don't have that long-term mentality.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
whenever we do it over a long period of time, and then we can see the change in us, it's like it kind of motivates us to like not give up and not not turn on yourself. And I think the most important thing is just getting started. Once you get started, like it's easier the next time to just to show up again.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
and we definitely had to learn how to be patient, because 3 or 4 months in, we weren't seeing anything, and we were like, shoot, let's just quit.
That's what most people do. Like,
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
go to the
that's
gym
what-
for
yeah,
like a few
exactly.
months and like I don't see no results. Then what's the point of coming back if I don't see anything?
I see it way too much, dude. But that's the thing. That's the difference between like average people and then like people who like really want to grind and like make something
Want
out
to
of
achieve
yourself.
something.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if you think about it, like, you know, just kind of like statistically speaking, we have 80 years to live, right? And if we just designate 6 months out of our 80-year life, that's like a very minimal part of our lives that we are investing to better in ourselves, for us to actually, like, okay, instead of just thinking, I'm going to go to the gym for 3 weeks, see if and then another thing is that people put so much pressure on what the scale looks like. They're like, oh, if I'm not down 5 pounds, 10 pounds,
I'm
Not
quitting.
like next
yeah,
week.
yeah, I'm not gonna keep doing this, you know.
That's the thing, dude. Like I'm not gonna look at the scale. I mean, I will probably when I get closer to like when I'm actually going to go into prep and like cut, because I actually need to see what my body weight is.
Right.
But right now, dude, like if I can look in the mirror and I can be like, you know what, like that muscle looks more defined right there, or your stomach looks a little flatter, I'm gonna go off that. Like I don't believe in the scale, honestly, because it, you know, muscle weighs more than fat, and so you go with
Right?
that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly.
People look at it though, and you're like, why did I gain 3 pounds? You know what I mean?
Right.
I've been cutting this whole time. I'm quitting. So it's working out and dieting is mental as much as it is physical. You know what I mean? It's just you just got to keep going, and you can't just quit. There's been plenty of times where I've almost quit, but I
how
just
long
keep
have
going.
you, or how long are you gonna do this cutting?
Well,
the diet you're
what?
doing
I'm gonna stay on this diet right now until
until you compete.
I
or?
compete. Literally, I mean, I have plenty of fat to lose still, so I'm gonna keep going until. I mean, obviously, if I look like I'm show ready with, you know, with a little bit left, like if it's May and I'm still if I'm looking pretty lean, I'll probably up my calories just a little bit. But for right now, I'm in a calorie deficit, like really bad, really hard.
All right.
Like today, I ate a payday for lunch, so
A what?
a payday. That's it.
I don't know what that is.
It's
Like,
like a little
like a peanut.
It's a little
It's
peanut
like a
bar.
bar.
peanut.
It's like 150 calories.
Like a candy
Okay.
bar.
It's like a bunch of nuts.
It's like
Yeah.
a candy bar, yeah.
Or it's like a healthy bar.
Oh, I don't know.
Health bar.
I don't guess it's not really healthy, but it's like it's not that bad for you. It's got a lot of fats in it, and
Yeah, it's kind of like a really plain Snickers.
Have you tried that Kind bar? I heard that's pretty like
What bar?
the
Cotton?
Kind.
oh yeah, I've had those. Yeah,
Those are I heard those are pretty healthy.
Yeah, those in like Nature Valley.
those are pretty good.
Nature
Yeah.
Valley bars. I could tear those up. Literally, bro. Mom goes and buys like a 32 pack of them, and I eat like 15 at least a day. Those things are so good, dude.
So what's something you guys want to just share it to the audience or whoever maybe listen to this podcast, who like kind of like they look at your reels, they look at your Instagram, but they don't see like the hard work you put in. Like they don't see the 10 hours a day you work at your job and then go in another hour or two to the gym. What do you want to tell to those people who are listening to this podcast and want to be like, oh, it's probably because they're just teenagers. They don't have any other thing to do rather than just go to the gym and try to look good.
So actually, I wish I was still a teenager, but I'm actually 22. So yeah, I do have a job. I work, I don't know, almost 30 hours a week. I guess it's not a full-time job, but it gets me by. I work from usually 9 a.m. to about 3, and then I go into work around 4 to 8:30, and then right after 8:30, I go straight to the gym from 9 to 10:30. I mean, it is sometimes even 11 or 12. I mean, it just depends on how long it takes. But if you're out there and like you want to start, don't say you don't have any time. You know, like focus on finding a way to be there, even if that's 2 a.m. I mean, that sounds crazy, but
Yeah, make time.
make time for it, because if you really want it, you're gonna stop at nothing to have it. So, what do you got?
I don't know. Don't judge a book by its cover. I mean, like, don't really. Yeah, you don't see everything behind the scenes, but don't automatically assume more to say.
Don't just assume we're meatheads, okay?
Yeah, I mean,
We
we
have
are,
hearts.
but we do little stuff on the other
We have
side
hearts.
too.
And another thing, like, you know, I kind of was working out with you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, one of you, I'm not going to call it out, just kind of made a comment about, like, while you're lifting, of, like, just kind of made a comment to yourself. And, like...
I know who
God.
that was.
Oh God, what did I say?
No.
It was me.
No, and, like, I think it's crazy because we all want what we can't have.
Yeah.
And I think we should all just be happy with what we have and work with what we have to become the better person that we are,
Yeah.
rather than focusing on what I'm lacking, you know, because that's going to get us more farther in life than trying to compare ourselves. And I think you guys are doing a great job at it, you know.
Thank you, I appreciate
And
that.
I just kind of want to put that out there to anyone else out there, because I know myself, I'm a person who compares myself a lot.
Yep.
And just be grateful for what you have, you know, if you have a roof under your head, if you have something to eat, you know, and if you have people around you who love you, your community. I think that is enough. Honestly, I think that's enough.
Probably the best part.
Yeah, that's the best
honestly.
part, and
Yeah,
that's enough
that's
for you to
Have
get
that
going.
Support, that community, people rooting for you, you know.
Yeah, that's enough for you to get going and get started for you to chase your dreams. So, you know, keep it up, and kind of like, you know, the most important, how we cheer for everyone else, let's cheer for ourselves too, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
What'd you say? Like, you wish you had bigger tits or what?
no.
No.
I don't think I can say that
I
here.
I don't think I can say it either.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah.
Chris Bump said it, and it's like one of his like most popular.
Oh, skinny?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. That's exactly what it was.
But yeah, we're talking about here just, you know, kind of like it's crazy because if you look at Kannon, right, like he dude is like chiseled, like pretty ripped, but then like he was lifting, and I was like, I mean, who doesn't want to have abs? But then like he kind of like insulted himself. So I'm like, dang, so he wants to be like Garett, but then like Garett kind of wants to be like
Yep,
Kannon.
exactly. Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's how
it's working
that's
right
how
now.
it's working.
And it's crazy, and I'm like, and you know, I just kind of like afterthought. I was like, man, I think not that like I just want to like, I'm like I just need to be thankful for what I have, you know,
Yeah.
and just be like, not try to compare myself to anyone, but if anything, just see them as a motivation, but don't be mean to myself, you know, like
Yeah.
trying to like, you know,
Bring yourself down.
Exactly.
I think that's
yeah.
Cannon's motivation to an extent, though. You know
Right,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
He's not really trying to hate on himself, so to speak, but I think it's when he says stuff like that to himself, it makes him like motivated to go harder. I
Yeah.
guess.
To like push a little bit harder
The
than
brain's
you did.
weird sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
I think it just depends on the person.
yeah, exactly, yeah. But I just kind of, I don't know if it's
That's
kinda-
funny though.
Yeah,
I wish you would say it.
I
but
know, dude.
I wish you would
It'd be
say it
so
really
funny.
bad, George.
No, the way that the reason why I said that is because like I knew like that was gonna suck. Like that rep, it was the last set. I knew it was gonna suck. So I had to say something out loud to myself to kind of motivate me and push me to that spot where I want to be. Because like if you don't, then
No,
yeah.
but I think that's also important because for not just for you guys, but anyone
Yeah.
who may be listening to that.
Mhm.
You know, like you may talk to yourself like you're a jerk to yourself, but to other people you're their biggest supporter. You know what I mean?
right, yeah.
So sometimes I feel like if we just kind of like switch the mentality of like, let's us be our biggest supporter and not, you know, whether, you know, and I guess you say each people works different
Yeah.
depending on what motivates them. But I think it's also important to like just to treat yourself like you would treat like your best friend, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, I think I've called him that before though, so I guess
Yeah.
I'm
it's
not.
your fault.
Yeah, it is.
And-
That's
Yeah,
why
it's
he says it.
PTSD. It's
Yeah.
trauma.
But what's something that motivates you guys going into the future?
I always look at like older photos of myself every day. I have my profile picture is like me first day.
Really?
Yeah. First day, first pick.
Yeah, that's why we took. I always told Kannon at the beginning. I was like, dude, we got to take progress pictures because once we get to a certain spot, we're gonna be like, dude, we're gonna look back and be like, holy crap, like we literally
like how'd we come this far?
How do we look like that?
Or so just in case if you want to quit, you'll see how far you have came.
Exactly, like
you've
come
already.
too far.
Why would
to
you quit now?
Yeah, and like you can always show that to your children, whenever you get older or whenever you have
look,
kids.
dude, your dad was fat, now he's jacked.
Yeah.
But I think something that motivates me is just the people around me, like my family, Kannon, my girlfriend, like seeing them, and like I feel like the path that I was going down 2 years ago, I probably would have died before 80. You know what I mean? I think.
Yeah.
I think I would have had super bad health issues. I already have high blood pressure because of my dad. Like it's just hereditary. We've had it in our family. I take medicine for it, and literally my blood pressure has went down like so much since I've started working out. So it's not only helped me physically or mentally, but it's helped me physically as well with my blood pressure. So yeah, like just seeing my family, seeing my nieces and my nephews, like I want to watch them grow up. I don't want to not be here for that. And so that's something that motivates me to keep going to the gym is I want to see my family longer. You only got one life, so you might as well live it up and be the healthiest you can while you're here.
And another thing is like the kids that we coach, like we love seeing them grow. Like you don't know how much like that has a bearing
big impact
on our hearts.
Yeah.
Like watching a kid, like with people who don't know tumbling, like watching a kid go from not knowing any skills to like doing a back handspring within like a year or like 2 or 3 years, like that's amazing to watch their growth. And that's kind of the same thing in the gym for us. It corresponds to the tumble for them. Like, yes, we've been working towards bigger muscles or more defined or getting skinnier while they're working for
better tumbling and better skills,
stuff like that. Like, they motivate us just as much as we motivate each other. Like, watching them grow is kind of like the equivalent of us growing as well.
What's one last thing you guys would want to say to? Well, I guess we haven't asked you guys yet. What scares you as you keep growing on this journey, right?
Okay, this one's pretty easy, honestly. Something that we've been thinking about for a long time was moving to Houston. People, I've already told people about it before, and then they kind of just like shut it down. They're like, "Dude, you shouldn't do that. That's dumb. You have you don't have a good job as it is. What makes you think you're gonna have a good job now in Houston? You know, like it's a big city. I get it. We've been there only once, but it's just
a huge city, actually.
It's huge.
It's
massive.
But like I want that would be cool to become a full-time fitness influencer. Like if I did social media and marketing and stuff like full-time and that was my job, I'd be okay with that. But I think what scares me the most is taking that leap, jumping out, leaving my family, the ones who I just said motivated me, you know, like how can I leave all that behind to follow my dreams? It's scary. It's super scary, and I don't know what God has in store for me, but I know whatever I'm going to do or whatever I jump into, I know he's going to be by my side.
What clicked that idea of going to Houston?
I think going there the first time and like seeing people who were just like us. We're just average people, and they were average people, and then all of a sudden they made good content. Next thing you know, they've
blown up,
and now they have sponsorships. They're living the life that we would love to live because working out has just become more than just working out. It's a lifestyle for us now, and so that's what would be super cool for that.
What about you, Kannon?
I mean,
The same?
Yeah, same way.
It's like, I want to go to Houston.
Yeah,
Come
dude.
on now.
And like I think I've always wanted to do that the same, like like just go out to a different city, see what it's gonna be like. But something I'm kind of like coming to like realization or whatever. It's like if you can make it happen here in like Little Rock, Arkansas, you can make it happen anywhere, you know.
Oh yeah,
that's what we're trying to do. You know,
because like our buddy or like who the filmmaker or whatever, he was saying a lot of people like the filmmaking industry is not very big in Arkansas, and they go to Atlanta,
Cali,
or
Los
Cali,
Angeles,
you know.
Yeah.
Which
But
there's a lot of filmmakers in Houston too.
Yeah, exactly. But then they end up coming back just because the market is so
So
big
low.
and
Saturated
saturated over there that they have to they're forced to come back to Little Rock, and they kind of like, if taking it into a bigger perspective, we all look like the YouTube world. It's all in California, Texas.
Yeah, Los Angeles.
But if you look
Florida,
at the biggest
New
YouTuber in the
York.
world,
Yeah.
it's in North Carolina, and he's like the only one there. He made it happen North Carolina. And I'm not trying to like,
Shout out Mr. Beast.
yeah, I'm not trying to
Yeah.
like dog on you guys. If you want to go to Houston, if you think that's the move, then you 100% do it. But also like at the same time, like if you probably can go out there for a month, 2 months, and then come back here and just kind of like network and start there. And I hope you guys. I wish you guys the best because that's what this podcast is about. Just trying to build each other up and trying to give each other advice on best way for you guys to grow and for or anyone to learn, honestly. So I think it's awesome that you guys are already thinking about the next plan and what's next rather than just staying
Stagnant.
Stay in
Yeah,
your comfort
yeah.
zone,
Yeah, and see, you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable, and that's something that obviously, we're scared of. And like you said, I think it might be a good idea to go for 2 months and just live
Test
out there
the
for
waters, too.
test the water, see what
Yeah.
it's like. Maybe look for jobs out there and see if it would even be feasible for me
Right.
or us. You know what I mean? And I have a girlfriend too, so obviously I'd want her to come with me. And so that's another thing that I'd be scared about. Is she going to support it? I'm sure she will, but it's still scary. She didn't want to leave her parents behind, so it's like maybe just do it. Like you said, I think the 2-month idea is like a super good idea. So maybe next summer, like before we're going to compete, maybe go out there, and
Yeah, do
just
an
see what it's
internship
like.
or whatever. Yeah.
And then like you said with the marketing and just networking, like I feel like that'd be like a super good idea. That we've already made some connections the first time we went,
Right.
and so we're about to go back, this time, and I feel like
to
this
make
time,
even more connections.
Or make a
Yeah.
deeper connection. Make it.
Oh,
like,
absolutely. Yeah.
Those
Exactly.
that are already established, make them just have more depth into it.
And what's cool is that I heard that Russ, who I said owned this brand, I think he has like some family that lives in Little Rock, so that's super cool. That's something that we could connect over.
Right.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Also, that Jacob Bergen guy I was talking to you about, he's literally
He went
like
to school
6'7".
in Little Rock.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, really?
He went to school in Arkansas, so that was super cool. And now he's out there living his dream and being
He just won,
a
like-
sponsored athlete.
He just won what two or three shows?
Yeah, he
And,
went to
like,
summer shredding,
from-
and he won that one.
From June to now, he's won like 2 or 3 shows, and he's about to become a IFBB pro.
Yeah, and I mean that's the cool thing. Like, what are you willing to do? Are you willing to like work for free for someone else during that summer or whatever? Just be a free trainer as long as they provide like somewhere for you to stay or for you to eat or whatever.
Honestly, that's not a bad idea. Like, housing is the scariest problem for
Yeah, right.
us, honestly.
Especially in Houston.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
especially Houston.
Yeah, it's probably
Taxes are
gonna
a
be
little
like,
bit better out there, though.
Yeah, that
That's
is
good.
true.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think that's something that we're really going to have to talk to God about and talk to our families about and really think, is this the best option for us? Or like you said,
At the moment.
could we do it here? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, it would be so cool to do it here.
right.
I just
And
don't-
like kind of like Thug Nasty put Arkansas on the map.
yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah.
he was like, oh, you need to get out of
Camo
Arkansas.
shorts.
He's like, get out of Arkansas. It's like, no, I'm staying in Arkansas.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, kind of like us too, kind of like me and Willie, because we did this podcast, but I had to go travel to El Salvador just to do one podcast. It doesn't mean like everyone's just gonna come to our place and do the podcast. Sometimes we have to go out there and reach out, but like our headquarters is still here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, it's something I don't know. But you guys may think about doing it as well.
Yeah. I think we think of like Planet Fitness as our
Get
base.
a Planet Fitness was it sponsorship?
Sponsorship.
Oh, dude, that'd be
Imagine.
dope.
Imagine. That'd be something.
Yeah.
Sherry.
And Jacob.
Anyways, what's the last words you guys have advised you guys want to share to anyone who may be listening to this pod?
Keep going.
Yeah. Whoever's watching this or listening, we appreciate y'all tuning in. And I would just like to say that whatever you're doing in life, whether that's working out, whether that's trying to get a new job, whether that's about to go into college or senior year of high school, whatever that is, just keep pushing to be your best. Don't let anyone distract you from your goals, and keep pushing towards those.
Yep. Keep with it. Stay with that goal. Doesn't matter what it is, as long as you strive for it and you really work. I mean, you can achieve it.
Well, appreciate you boys coming on. It
Yeah, I
was
appreciate y'all having me.
Appreciate
definitely
y'all,
a fun
for real.
time.
Yeah, thank you for having.
What would be like a good way that somebody can reach out to you, whether it is fitness, dieting, your clothing brand, your social media? What's a good way they can reach out to you guys?
So we have an Instagram page. It's Gygo Fitness, GYGOFITNESS on Instagram. If you go to that profile, our profiles are actually in the bio, so you could just click on those. I know his is Kannon.Blake, and then mine is Garett.win. So they're super easy to look up. So if you'd like to reach out to us for anything, or you need any advice or any help, just please holler at us.
And that's Kannon with a K. I know a lot of
Yes.
people go Kannon with a C, like the camera,
Yeah.
but I'm different.
I'm
built different.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching this episode with the Get Your Grind On Boys Fitness.
Geigo boys,
Geigo
baby.
boys.
The Geigo Boys of Fitness. If you guys make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook.
You can also listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and video form on Facebook and YouTube.
As we're working on our next new project of sharing a smile, be sure to share a smile with a stranger, or share a smile with someone who you already know to form a deeper connection, and with a stranger because it may lead to endless possibilities. Hope you guys have a good one. We'll see you until the next one.
Other than that, peace out, guys.
See ya.
Oh.
And if you're still listening, here's some bloopers.
What is that?
That's an ant.
Is it carrying that fuzz like that?
Yes, dude.
Bro. That's motivation
That's a
right
big
there.
ant, right? That's a big ant.
I
Bro.
was wondering what y'all were looking at.
I was like,
Bro,
Dang, bro.
in
I
the
thought
corner
that
of my eye, I'm seeing like a fuzz just levitate across the floor. What is going on?
he's
What
trying to figure out.
What is that?
It's an
Is that
ant.
just like it's like a piece of that's the
Yeah.
whole thing ain't the ant. What is that? What is he carrying?
Oh.
He's pulling a load back home.
Is he carrying another
Sheesh.
ant on him?
Is that two ants? Are they fighting?
Is
Are
that
they
ant
mating?
on ant action?
Is this Nat Geo Wild? Did he get over that cord? That's nice.
If you're watching on, if you're
Yeah,
listening to audio right now, we're
people on the
looking
camera,
at an ant right now.
Nobody on the cameras. They're not even gonna the video. Like they're not gonna know what we're looking at right now. They're just gonna think we're staring at the floor.
But anyways.